Hey everybody, welcome back to the Board Game Channel. I am Steven.
I'm Tim, and we are here to talk about the Gang Deluxe Edition, brought to you by John Cooper and Corey Heath. This plays anywhere from 3 to 10 players.
All right, let's take a look. We'll come back and talk about it and see if it's for you.
Hey. Good to see you. Come on in, let's go. Yeah! Let's go! Alright, okay. Okay. Return to the Mac. Get up what it is, what it does, what it is, what it isn't. Looking for a better way to get up out of bed instead of getting on the internet and checking a new hit me get up.
Welcome to the Gang, the Deluxe Edition. Going to provide a quick overview and not a teach-through on how to play this game. If you're not familiar with the Gang, I would highly recommend getting on YouTube and watching a how to play video. But for the purpose of this overview, we're going to center on the Deluxe Edition and what comes with it and what's not. Now, if you're debating on whether to get the Deluxe Edition or the regular, let me tell you what the Deluxe Edition includes. So the Deluxe Edition includes the base game, which allows you to be able to play with 3 to 6 players. It also comes with an expansion that allows you to play with 7 to 10 players. And there are 3 mini expansions, the Jokers and More, Tools of the Trade, and the Dealer, as well as some different poker variants like 7-card stud, Omaha, banana split, etc. So it really just gives you a lot more with the game. Plus it provides a phenomenal mat that you get, plus really heavy weighted poker chips, and then these fantastic gold bars and alarms. My only knock on these alarms is they don't light up flashing red, which would be neat. So the Gang, in its, it's your professional thieves ready to commit a series of heists. The success of these heists, though, hang on the Gang's perfect coordination. So in order to win the game, you'll have to work together to steal 3 gold bars without tripping the alarm 3 times. And you're going to be doing this cooperatively by playing Texas Hold'em. So let me show you a little bit how to play. So at the very start of the game, just like regular Hold'em, you're going to deal 2 cards to each player. These are your whole cards. I'm going to assume we're playing with 5 players right now, just again for this demonstration. Everyone's going to look at their cards, and you can't share what you have with each other. But what we're trying to accomplish is we have 4 rounds to do this. We are trying to figure out the ranking of all of our hands in order from worst to best. And there's a couple clever ways that you can do that. But initially, to start off, we're going to start with these white chips, 1 through 5. If I think I have a really strong hand, and this is important, you don't want to base your ranking off of what you could have. You want to base it off of what you do have. So right now, an ace-7 is pretty high. It's not a pair. It's not, an ace, king or queen, but I think it's probably one of the highest hands. So I'm going to select the 5. Now, everyone else, they're going to select what rank they have based on the cards that were dealt. Now, if for some reason I took the 5, but this player over here has pocket cards and they think they have the highest, what they're going to do is they're going to take the 5 from me and leave me with the 4. And then we have a decision. Are we good with what we have right now, or do I want to adjust or modify anyone else's bids? If we're all in a good place, then we're locked in. We're going to keep these white chips out here because this is going to show, hey, the pocket cards, this is where we thought we ranked. So now what we do is we burn 1 and we flip over 3. All right, now same thing is going to happen. All right, we're going to put these out right here. Now everyone's going to grab the chips. You don't do this in turn order. You just grab what you think it is. So for instance, my cards, hey, I'm working on a flush and now I have an ace-queen. I think that's pretty high, but somebody else may have gotten a pocket pair. Oh, look at that. So this person had pocket queens, Again, we don't know what they have, so immediately they're going to take the 5. All right. Well, I think I have a strong hand so far. I may try to go reach for that 5, and they're like, no, you cannot take that 5. I could if I wanted to, but again, they are signifying that they have a very strong hand. So maybe I think I'm a 4 now. They think they're a 3, a 2, and a 1. And we're all locked in and we feel pretty good about it. All right, so now, next card is flipped. And we got 4. So we know this person has a full house. They immediately grab that 5. Again, we don't know what everyone else has. I still think I have a pretty solid hand, but now that a pair is showing, it may not be that great. This person has 2 pair. This person has a full house, so 4s over 6s. They're going to think that they have the strongest, so they're going to reach for that 5, and this person's going to be like, absolutely not. You cannot have it. So this person's going to accept that maybe they have a higher hand. This person over here has 10-2. They have nothing. And if you remember correctly, this person had a Jack 8. So right now, this person is the lowest. They don't think they have a whole lot. So they're going to take the 1, and then I'll take the 3. This person will take the 2. And again, just like the rest of the game, hey, are we good with this? Okay, we're good. So now we're going to the last card. All right, so now, if you remember correctly, I had a 7. So I have 2 pair, 7s and 4s. This person over here, they have nothing other than Jack high. We know that person has queens over 4s. This person has nothing. And then this person has a full house as well, but it's 4s over 6s. So based off of that information that they're still going with, that person's going to grab a 5. This person's probably going to say, are you sure? They're absolutely. They're going to take the 4. Then it comes, this person's going to take the 1 because they know they don't have a great hand. And then I'm going to take the 3, and I'm probably going to have a conversation with this person, but for this purpose, I'm going to just take the 3, and this person takes the 2. So now what we do, based on the red chips, we are going to put our hands out in order from lowest to highest. So lowest goes out here with the 2-10. So they have a 10 high, so nothing really. The 2, this person's going to put their cards out. They have a Jack 8. Again, okay, it's stronger than a 2-10, so they're going to take that. I'm going to flip this, and I have 2 pair. I have 7s and 4s. Then this person's going to flip, and they reveal a full house, 4s over 6s. So far, we've done it in order, and then the final reveal is the number 5. I don't know if you can see this, but this person has a full house, queens over 4s. Again, we are cooperatively playing this game. We are bank robbers. We're performing a heist. If we are successful in our heist, we get to break into the vault and grab a gold bar. The object for us is to get 3 gold bars, and we win the game. However, if we would have been wrong, I revealed mine first, then they revealed theirs, and theirs is lower than mine. We have failed. We have tripped a wire, an alarm, and then the alarm will go there. If we ever get to 3 alarms, we immediately lose the game. Now, the fun part about this game, you're doing this cooperatively. We don't know what we have. There's limited information based off of what you can tell each other. But there are opportunities. If you were to lose the game, on the next turn, you can flip over one of these red cards. And this is going to give you something, some type of an ability that's going to help give you a little help during the round. So this particular one is Math Whiz. This means immediately after dealing pocket cards, each of you shares with everyone the sum of the value of your pocket cards. So 2 to 10 have the values of 2 to 10. Face cards have a value of 10. So this is just giving a little piece of information that can help people deduce what's in your hand. Now, if we won it, then we flip over this. So again, this is, we'll call it a little bit of a penalty, but we did it so easy that, of course, the bank is going to boost up their security. So this particular one is ventilation shaft. So immediately after dealing pocket cards, flip the highest value chips for rounds 1, 2, and 3 to the dark side. These chips cannot change owners. So that means if you take a chip, the 1, 2, or 3, no one can take it from you. That means it is locked in, on your own. So again, this is just a little bit extra boost of security, which makes it a little bit more challenging. So you're going to continue to play until you have completed the game, either getting 3 gold bars or tripping all 3 alarms. And like I said earlier, you can play this with a lot of different variants, different stud games, Omaha, you name it. There's so much more that's packed into this game compared to the original. So let's take it back to the table and hear our thoughts.
All right, Steven. This is the deluxe version of the Gang. I certainly have a lot to talk about. Where do we start? Should I start first? Start on a positive note?
Why don't we end on a positive note?
Okay.
Because we're not going to start on one. All right, so I'm just going to be honest. If you've watched our channel, you already know this about me. I personally do not like games like this. And if I'm being honest, I do not understand why games like this have become so popular. I acknowledge that they have. I personally don't get it. So let me frame this in terms of poker, because it kind of leans into that world. But I think what I say about poker, you could really extrapolate to any strategically deep board game. And what I say about the Gang, you could extrapolate to any of these kind of limited communication cooperative games. So I love poker. We love poker. If you love poker, actually leave a comment below and tell us that you love playing poker, because we have some things potentially in the works here at the Board Game Channel. So we would like to know that. But I love poker. Poker is a game where I have almost complete agency. Yes, I'm making decisions under conditions of uncertainty, but I have almost complete agency in making those decisions. And I'm making those decisions based off of a series of what I would call high fidelity signals. I have very complex information that I'm using to make those decisions. I have position, I have pot odds, I have your betting and your bluffing history and your behavioral psychology that you're exhibiting at the table. You're contributing to the uncertainty that I'm trying to navigate. I'm contributing to the uncertainty you're trying to navigate, and we're trying to optimize our decision making in that space, and I love it. There's a difference between making decisions under uncertainty and coordinating under uncertainty. And there's a difference between a game being strategically deep and a game being difficult. And so one of the pushbacks I get on games like this a lot is, they're actually more hard. They're harder than you think. They're really, of course they're hard. You're ultimately guessing. You're using, in that case, low fidelity signals, very limited and simplified information. And you're using that information not to optimize decision making, but to try to kind of mind meld. It doesn't actually matter if you have the best strategy. It just matters if you have synced your thinking up with other people's thinking around the table. Personally, to me, that is just not very fun. My biggest takeaway when I play a game like this, I say this lovingly and tongue-in-cheek, but every time I play one of these games with my friends, my biggest takeaway is, wow, one of my friends is a moron. And it usually changes from game to game which one is, but no. In all honesty, you're trying
because they play this game, or because
they did something so stupid that it defies explanation. Right. We'll leave examples off the table because our friends watch this, but yeah. So I just, that to me, that idea of like, let's take really constrained information. We're really not. There's no strategic depth here. They're just kind of compensating for the lack of strategic depth with a lack of information. It's like silence becomes what makes it difficult. That just doesn't appeal to me. I acknowledge there are people who love these games. I will talk about some other, I'll mention after Tim gets a chance to rebut, so to speak. I'll mention some games that if you like, then you'll probably like this. But if you're like me and you find that to be just a less than satisfying puzzle to solve, this is going to do nothing for you. Hopefully that's a little nicer than the way I phrased it in some past examples. I try to really think. You and I have talked a lot about these games and why I don't like these games. I tried to be honest with myself about why I don't like these games. And really that's my takeaway over and over is I don't have agency. I'm not dealing with information that allows me to optimize decision making in a way that I consider meaningful. I'm essentially trying to mind meld, and I don't think that works well in a lot of situations. I especially don't think it works well in poker, where everybody's bringing different experiences to the table and different assessments of how strong a hand is or isn't. We saw that when we test played that this week. Some people have a very weird sense of what a strong or weak hand is. So
yeah. So with your plays of this, sure, there are going to be some people that don't understand hands of poker as well. And what's
people are
strong.
still taking the 4 when there's a flush draw on the table, and they're holding a jack and an 8.
Yeah. Well, again, that is based on the people playing with you. So if you play with people that don't know how to play poker, could they learn? Sure. But if you want to be successful and have a great experience, everyone kind of needs to be on the same page of understanding. There's more agency than I think you give it credit for. I think for this game in particular, and I value your opinion. Obviously, we wouldn't be doing this together if I didn't. Most of the time, but the thing is with these games, so we're talking about Sky Team, the Crew, like all of the games that you have very limited information. You can't really talk. Those are the games Steven is referring to.
I wouldn't lump Sky Team in with that necessarily, but carry on. I don't want to interrupt you. I talked for a long time.
Yeah. So I want to get off of what this game isn't or is for a moment. Let me give my thoughts on this particular game. So this is the Deluxe Edition, and if you've played the Gang, so we're not necessarily reviewing the Gang. This is Steven's opinion on the Gang in general. This new Deluxe version, it's a beautiful production. So for somebody that loves the Gang, I've played it with all different player accounts. I've played it with more than 6 on many occasions. We've just substituted different, chips. This gives the ability, so it has more chips, so it enhances your ability to play from 7 to 10 now. The mini expansions are great. It has Omaha variant. It has some different variants that are pretty unique. It just basically, if you like the Gang, this gives you a lot more, and it gives you a lot more in a very deluxeified version of it. Those gold bars, those little alarms, I think I even put in the overview, like if those little alarms just flash red, like that would be the ultimate,
It's asking a lot
component. I know. I'm going to have to find some on Etsy and upgrade it, but how cool would that be if you trip an alarm and things just glowing red? But the components are beautiful. Does it need the player mat? It doesn't need not the player mat, but the central mat. It doesn't need it, but it is really nice, especially if you don't want to play if you don't have a game mat or a poker table and you're playing on a wood table. It's nice having that mat there. So the production quality is amazing. I think the gameplay is going to be very, very similar to the Gang. The only difference is you have more stuff now, more variability, more ways to play, and some of those variants, I haven't played through all of them, but a lot of those variants would lend well to somebody that doesn't necessarily like Texas Hold'em or grew up playing Texas Hold'em.
I agree. So let me back up for a second. I agree 100% with what you said. If you like the Gang and you like these kind of games, this is worth the money from a component standpoint. Now, I don't like these kind of games, so it's obviously not for someone like me. I would actually argue that this game, who's this game for, which is really our goal here. If you like The Crew, if you like Take Time, if you like some of those very limited communication co-op games, you're going to like this. Unless
you don't like poker.
I actually don't feel that poker is a prerequisite for liking this game. Most of the poker players I know would say, if I'm in the mood for that, I'd rather just play poker. It is a fundamentally different game for the reasons I suggested. You're not actually playing a poker hand here, by the way. You're not bidding or you're not betting or raising or bluffing. Yeah. You're using the poker hand as a vehicle to the mind meld. And so I don't know that you need to play poker. So if you do like those games, if you like The Crew, If you like Take Time, you'll know some others. I usually run from those games. But if you like those, you'll like this regardless of whether you like poker, I believe.
Yeah. So I've introduced this game to non-gamers. I've had some team building events and trips, and I've introduced this to people that do not play board games. If they do play board games, it's probably Monopoly or Life or those games back in the day.
I think that's a great category to put this with, by the way.
Those non-board gamers fell in love with this game, and I can't tell you over the last couple years how many people have bought this that were non-gamers.
Yeah,
They love playing poker.
That says it all.
They love playing poker. These are poker players. So a lot of them are poker players. You're not going to pick up this game because you're trying to play poker. You're playing a game with people. You're not betting money against each other. You're playing a game, which for all intents and purposes, like the point of playing games are for enjoying the experience with other people, at least in my mind. And to me, this brings that experience to the table. And I can't tell you how many times people say, oh, you remember when that one person, like you said earlier, played that or thought his 4 was like the highest hand. It's like, oh my God, like you're going to have those experiences, of course, and people will learn from it. But we've had phenomenal experiences with this game for gamers, for non-gamers. I've taught my in-laws this game that kind of know poker, and they've fallen in love with it also. Yeah. So this scratches an itch for a lot of different genres of gamers and non-gamers. If you don't like these type of games, you won't like this. I would say for everyone else, this is going to fall into a very large bucket for most people that will enjoy this game. This is also one of those games that, again, like you're playing a board game to a non-gamer. Do you know how to play Hold'em? Yeah, I know how to play Hold'em. And this is kind of the gateway game. They start looking at, okay, this is what games can do. Yeah, I mean, this is one way, a game can do this. Let's see what else is out there. And like I said, at the end of the day, if you have the experiences and people love it and you can talk about it, that to me is an excellent game. So I highly recommend the Gang in general, but the deluxe edition, if you don't own a copy, I would certainly buy this copy. It is a fantastic production.
I will go so far as to say I agree that if you like the Gang, this is worth your money. I'm going to leave it at that. So I've said my piece on this, and it's not an attack on the Gang. The Gang, it's a genre of games that doesn't resonate with me. Tim's thoughts, mine. Let's hear yours. I mean, genuinely would love to hear your thoughts on this genre of games, whether you enjoy them, where they fit into the hobby for you, into your time playing games. That would be really fun to talk about. And let us know if you like poker, and stand by because the Poker Vault might be definitely coming soon from the Board Game Channel. Until then, we'll talk to you next time.